road to take on a Purdue team that is all the way up to the third-ranked team in the country. Hi, everybody. Dave Fleming alongside Dan Dockich. Molly McGrath is with us as well. Purdue having such an impressive season. You have to go back 30 years to find a higher-ranked Purdue team. Maybe the best week of any team in the country last week. Great win in Ann Arbor. Destroyed Minnesota in Minneapolis. Purdue is rolling.
Well, you said it. Take out 2 losses in a ballroom in the Bahamas, and you have an undefeated team. This Purdue team has experience. It has size. It has shooting. It's won 13 in a row. But a matchup tonight to watch. 2 centers, the biggest human being in college basketball, Isaac Haas, who loves to go on the block, is going to take on maybe the most versatile big man in college basketball, Ethan Happ, who leads his team in every category.
Carson Edwards just takes the ball right from the freshman Brad Davison of Wisconsin, but he missed the layup. And you want to understand the arc of the seasons of these two teams, starting 5. Ethan Happ really the only guy with a lot of starting experience for the Badgers, and he is having a really good year, but a lot of inexperience around him, including Nate Reavers making just his 4th start. Meanwhile, Purdue, one of, if not the most experienced team in all of college basketball.
Well, Purdue, you see, senior guarding the postman, senior getting a rebound, outlets it to a senior, P.J. Thompson.
And if you've only started 40, 50 games for this Purdue team, you're nothing. Vincent Edwards for 3.
How good has he been?
Really good.
Oh, every offense, defense, rebounding, running the floor, leading. I'm telling you, most versatile player in the Big Ten.
Coming off arguably his best game of his career, Pritzel misses the 3. Wisconsin's going to need some of those shots to go down.
Well, you mentioned the best game of his career for Vince Edwards. He had 20 in the first half at Minnesota, which is, I don't care who they have, not an easy place to play.
Second worst home loss in Minnesota history, and that's a second 3, this time the other Edwards.
Something to watch with Purdue. Watch opposite the ball and watch the cutter. Vince Edwards, or it can be Carson Edwards, Dakota Mathias, they sprint to the top of the key. They don't jog, they sprint, and they catch the ball in rhythm and turn quickly into their shot.
Happ making his move against Haas, gave it up. Davison, a contested 3.
You're going to lose by 100 if you shoot those.
And the way Wisconsin's been struggling on offense, it could happen tonight. Dakota Mathias in and out, but a foul against the Badgers trying to box out Haas.
Opposite the basketball. Now, opposite the ball, you're going to see right here, the ball's going to be reversed, and watch the sprint by Carson Edwards. He's coming to the top of the key, and Pritzel, the defender, goes about half speed and runs into the screener. No excuse for Pritzel. The only excuse is maybe it's just hard to guard how hard they cut. Here, same thing.
Edwards had an opening, decided not to shoot the 3. This time steps back and hits another one.
How good is that kid? It never changes expression. Like, he's tough on you when he guards you. He cuts, he shoots him in, and never changes expression. Everything he does well on the court, he expects to do.
And he's their 4th best 3-point shooter by the numbers.
And their 2nd best Edwards. He's not even their best Edwards.
Happ. They need a big night from him. Davison traveled. Well, Matt Painter, he's been around a long time. This is his 13th year. This, Dan, maybe he's had a lot of good teams. This may be his best team.
Feels like it. You know, the whole feel. You mentioned it when we were off air. Like, look at the students here. You know, when students come out like they've come out here, you know that this is a team that has connected with the student body, with the population on campus. And they're seniors. People know them. Here's another senior.
How good is number 3 Purdue? 12-0 good. That's how. We'll be back right after this. right, this was just a moment ago. Remember Dan said how much these students love this Purdue team. Look at how many students. That's just half of them. That's one end of Mackey Arena. That's just a great shot to demonstrate how many kids are here tonight.
Well, I think this is cool. You got the students in gold, and you got the old people in black.
It's one way to distinguish them. There are a few other ways also.
That's the way. And every Purdue fan right now watching on TV said, hey, he's right. That's where they sit.
12-0. Nate Reavers, freshman, big man, getting his 4th career start. Another freshman, Brad Davison. Reavers, that is a tough shot. A whistle, though, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah, Reavers was so awkward, truthfully. That's why Vince Edwards fouled.
Well, Greg Gard, who is widely respected as one of the best coaches in the country. It's only his 3rd year as the head coach. He's been around this program for a long time. He knows, though, he's got a big challenge on his hands. Not just tonight, but this season. This is not your typical Wisconsin team. We're talking about all that experience. That's what you associate with the Badgers normally.
Yeah, they usually have guys step up. And because of injury, guys that are stepping up are walk-ons. Now, Kobe King, I think, is going to be a terrific player. He's out for the year. Dimitri Trice is going to be back next week, possibly. That's what Brad.
Possibly.
I didn't come to the shoot-around. I was doing my radio show, but you were here, and that's what he said.
He's getting close. He was out on the court today, working with the team. 2 big factors why Wisconsin has struggled as much as they have. Just 2 and 3 in Big Ten play. Haas in traffic had it knocked away.
Yeah, really good play by Davison. Haas went after it with one hand. Davison came from the side, knocked it away. You got to help on Haas.
Ethan Happ. Good defense by Vincent Edwards. Ford wouldn't shoot the open 3. Davison will. Here comes Purdue. That one tipped out of bounds. It'll stay Purdue basketball. 4 made threes in the first few minutes of this game for the Boilermakers. You think about all the history of this Purdue program, and they have had some of the great players in the history of college basketball. They have never been the #1 ranked team in the AP poll. This is a team that has, I think, a pretty darn good chance to get to that #1 ranking at some point this year.
I agree. I'm a little surprised by that. Going back years, how good is he? Now, let me go back. He guarded the post on the other end. Then he guarded smaller, rebounded it, brought it down the court. And then he goes on a drive and shoots it over another guy. He's just, Vince Edwards and Keita Bates-Diop are sensational.
Happ over Haas, no good. Here's Dakota Mathias. We've hardly even talked about him yet. Edwards, another 3. In and out. Haas just short-armed it.
He did. I thought he was going to dunk it because he was right there to time it and dunk it.
That's the first blemish for Purdue in this game. Davison, who is a tough kid playing with a bad shoulder. Edwards got undercut. That's a Wisconsin foul. What an impressive start for the #3 ranked team in the country. 14-2 Purdue.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Boost Mobile and in part by Northwestern Mutual. Spend your life living.
The go-to guy on Purdue is the open guy. We don't rely on just one player anymore, and that's made everyone else step up and improve individually. And Dave, that's made their whole team stronger. Who would have thought that they're now better without their first-team All-American?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I just hate that if that's not a slam on Swanigan. Swanigan was fantastic here, and Swanigan led them to a ton of victories. But it's just a different team, different year, and these guys are all veteran guys.
Yeah. So, when we were talking with Molly about her conversation with Vincent Edwards, she and Vincent both were careful to say, look, Caleb Swanigan was a great player. We'd love to have him on this team, but there's something about not having that go-to guy that has made everybody else better.
Right. And I'll tell you one thing Caleb Swanigan did for this team. He showed everybody in this program what work ethic is. I mean, that dude worked and worked and worked. A little like the big dog in that vein. The big dog, Glenn Robinson, used to do the same thing, and everybody had to get to his level.
And Purdue's not just great. Here's the balanced scoring we're talking about. They are a great offensive team. They're also a great defensive team. Harms with a foul. That's their other 7'3" guy, the one they bring off the bench.
Well, everybody knows I'm in love with Dakota Mathias, and this is a heck of a play. He could have shot this, but he found the next guy, and then Harms, you see, he caught it in the face. He caught it on the arm, but fellas, ladies, gentlemen, watch his chin. His chin stays on the rim, even right there after, and that's the difference. It's not just your eyes, it's your chin. It brings your whole body up and makes you stronger through contact.
Couldn't complete the three-point play, but out of bounds off of Purdue, so Wisconsin will get the ball back, needing something to go right. Look, we know the Badgers are shorthanded, and we know this is not your typical Wisconsin team. Even with that said, this has a chance to get ugly.
Well, it does. Let's talk about Wisconsin. Somebody's going to have to make a shot. You're going to have to play through Hap, and you're going to have to use a shot fake and drive it right at Purdue. You cannot go right at Purdue, and you'll get there. There it is.
Khalil Iverson gets it to Hap, who tried to find Iverson. It's a turnover.
Edwards came to double, kept his hands above his shoulders, got a deflection.
Carson Edwards over to Vincent. And the defense just left him, so what'd he do? Scored.
Vincent Edwards, double the post, deflect the ball, shot fake, get in the lane, knock it in. I'm telling you, I know a lot of people can do that once in a while. That's all he does all game, is everything.
Hap trying to muscle his way through Harms. Ball is saved. No, Iverson's foot was on the end line. Purdue gets the ball back. Saturday prime time presented by AT&T. This Saturday, 8:15 tip time, Florida and number 18 Kentucky at Rupp Arena. That will be a good one. And then after that, UCLA, Oregon in Eugene out of the Pac-12. Both games on ESPN and on the app.
Is this the quietest Kentucky team in memory? You don't hear a lot about them.
It probably is. Maybe one other Coach Cal team would be comparable in the decade or so, but it probably is.
Yeah. Just
not as much high-end NBA talent. I'm not saying there's not NBA talent there, but that's part of it too.
I think that's a big part of it. No question about it. But you just don't hear, Kentucky this, Kentucky that.
Good play by Hap for the steal, and Hap running the floor lays it in.
Interesting. Two bigs. And one of the reasons last year Matt Painter didn't play Haas and Swanigan was turnovers. I think he feels a little more comfortable with Harms and Haas because Haas is older and Harms a little more skilled. But you saw first possession turnover.
Ryan Klein, who's a good three-point shooter, hasn't always shot the ball particularly well this year. Thompson into the lane. P.J. Thompson, tough pass. Shot clock winding down. Haas catches and missed it. That's another miss from close range.
Yeah, he is shooting the ball on the way up. He is not going up strong and then shooting the ball.
Well, maybe the Badgers can turn that stop into a little run. Walt McGrory, a walk-on in the game. That grabbed away by Klein.
I feel like he wants to shoot. There you go.
Yeah, he did.
You could just feel it. You could feel at the first possession when he had the ball, he wanted to lift up. And there, he was looking for space.
Top 3 offensive efficiency team in the country. Top 3 defensive efficiency team in the country.
That's pretty good.
Hap almost had it stolen away. Can they get a shot off? Answer no. Purdue running the floor. Carson Edwards. Edwards isn't going to miss this one.
Need a timeout here, I think.
And they got it. Yes, it is. A little lopsided early. The good news for Wisconsin, a long way to go in this game. Is it possible for them to challenge this powerful Purdue team?
Sure. Want to keep viewers around.
It's not that we want you to turn the game off. We certainly don't want that.
Well, what has to happen is Ethan Happ basically has to draw, and then others have to finish and make plays. And can't do that.
It's just not happening for the Badgers on either end. Nogel Eastern, who's a talented freshman, doesn't play a lot for Purdue. Loose ball, and Wisconsin comes up with it. But part of the thing that Wisconsin's struggling with so much, their defensive numbers have been fine, not great, but fine. They're just not scoring. This has not been a good Wisconsin offensive team.
Well, you look out there. This is the third strip of the game.
Not a great lob pass. They've got so much to cheer about here. They've been cheering other sports teams. Jeff Brom of the football team during that last time out were at midcourt. That's a three from Reavers, who is a very talented young player.
Missed the first 5 games. That's what he does. He can shoot threes. And again, that's what we were talking about. Happ drew a double team. Guys cut in the right position. Got a good look.
Purdue football team here tonight. Couldn't quite hit Haas down low. Basketball team playing this well. Good time to be a Boilermaker.
National champion cheerleaders.
Vincent Edwards to the basket. Haas down in the stance. Happ trying to muscle his way in. Shot was blocked. Shot clock down to 5. Happ knows it. Tough runner. He draws a foul.
Tough call. I thought Haas was moving his feet nice. Hey, how about this from Vince Edwards? It's just what Vince Edwards does. Little fake foot fake, sweep, get to the rim, no help. When's the last time? When's the last time you saw somebody able to do that against Wisconsin? Vince Edwards just fast and Harms just strong.
And enthusiastic, the young kid over there on the bench. Oops. Oh boy.
That may come back on him the rest of the game.
He does everything else well. Ethan Happ. Hey, 1 or 2 ain't bad.
That's the average. That's what he shoots.
Now, if you do that in a Purdue shoot-around, if you airball any shot during the shoot-around, you have to run to the top of whatever arena they're in and back down.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the arena. Home, away, airball, gone.
Vincent Edwards, a little too strong. Iverson, good rebound. Davison got pushed. So that'll take us to another timeout. 7:52 to go. First half. Purdue up big.
We just got to keep the ball moving. If we're going to make a play, make it. But if you're not making a play, get the ball out of your hands and get active. Take some back cuts to the rim and then get some combo screening to put them in the mix. Because when we do get the basketball, now we got space to drive. We got space to make a play. When we don't, now our spacing stinks and there's nowhere to go.
Isaac, the big kid they check.
Well, motion offense, here's what you do. You get a play, go make it. That's fine. That's what Matt is saying. If you give it up, do something. What do? Cut to the rim, screen away, or replace yourself. Those are the three things. Replace yourself means act like you're going away, come back to get the basketball. That's what Matt's talking about. And then he mentioned cut to the rim, back cut to the rim, because it shrinks the defense and draws it into the lane, and now you got shooters.
Rare bad pass, but Purdue returns the favor. Carson Edwards trailing. Good bounce pass.
See, right now nobody's moving. You're going to see Matthias come to the top, but that's about it.
Nice back cut.
That's what he drew up.
That's exactly what he was talking about.
You had a combo screen, which is what he said on the left-hand side. It's two guys involved in setting a screen. And then on the drive, P.J. Thompson, was it P.J. Thompson or was it Edwards? P.J. Thompson, then back cut.
Pritzel, 3. And Brevin Pritzel can give Wisconsin more of that. He is a good shooter. They want to get him more looks from the outside. Just a sophomore. Oh, quick look. Haas was fouled.
Let me show you what we're talking about. You heard the words combo screen. What does that mean? It means more than one guy in some screening. So you can see a couple guys involved here. There's a back screen. Matthias was involved. There's two screens. Now there's your curl, and you're going to see the back cutter. Boom! Right there, P.J. Thompson. If you're going to make a play, make it. If you're not, do something. Well, P.J. Thompson wasn't making a play. He did something, and that was make a back cut on the drive.
Off the foul, Purdue inbounds. Good hands by Pritzel to steal it away, and then P.J. Thompson committed a foul. Well, our next NBA Wednesday doubleheader, the Lakers against the Thunder and Russell Westbrook and company. That one at 8 Eastern. Then out to Staples, where things were very feisty last night. Nuggets, Clippers, maybe a little calmer, 10:30 Eastern. That's Wednesday on ESPN.
Chris Paul sneaking in the back door. Trying to have a throwdown.
Not happy with his old team. Arguably the all-time greatest Clipper. Happ threw it to us.
Forward back cut. Happ thought he was standing. With the lineup right now, you just don't have anybody that can make a shot. The Davison kid's basically playing with one arm. So he's struggling. Ilikainen, number 25, is in there to shoot the basketball. Iverson, not really a shooter, so you can really play. Pritzel is. You can play off and help on Happ and still have time to get back to yours.
Wisconsin's got 11 points. Purdue has forced 11 turnovers. Haas, that double team came, and Davison stole it away, but a whistle came late. And Greg Gard thought it was a little too late.
Haas is playing really weak. Like, he's gone one-handed and gotten it knocked out. He's short-armed it around the basket. There, he didn't just, bam, grab the basketball. He kind of held the basketball.
Even though he got the favorable whistle, I think that's what Matt Painter's talking to him about. He was barking out there at his big man.
But they are trying to go to him, too. They're trying to get him going.
Well, the kid Reavers is fighting down there. Matthias got open, missed the three, and Haas just went right over top and missed another one.
Rolled out of his hands before he went up and laid it in. Rolled down his wrist.
Haas has not made a shot from the field. Carson Edwards made a break on the ball. He gets called for the foul.
Boy, that's a tough call. Carson Edwards read it really well. Got in there, didn't steal it cleanly, got tied up. You could have made a case that it was a foul on or against Carson Edwards, or you can make a case play on. Right there, he read it pretty good, and then they got tangled a little bit.
Now, a foul against Wisconsin. Tying up P.J. Thompson.
I say this all the time. You can get hot as a defender. You can, meaning you know you have your guy. He can't do anything with me. And really, in all 5 spots, maybe not Happ when he's in, But in all 4 out of 5 spots, Purdue is on fire against their own guy.
Carson Edwards pull up 3, good. They call it a 2. His foot was on the line.
Try to watch next time down the floor Carson Edwards and Matthias off the basketball.
Pritzl got Edwards up in the air, but couldn't draw enough contact to get the whistle.
No, Pritzl needed to go right underneath him and let him fall down on him.
And Carson Edwards, this guy with the ball, he's a top 5 scorer in the Big Ten. Just a sophomore from Texas. He and Miles Bridges tied for 5th in the Big Ten in scoring. Thompson 3, good.
Many of Wisconsin's defensive woes could be solved by not letting the ball be driven into the middle.
Happ lost it on the way up. I thought that was actually going to be a clean look. Reavers for 3.
Well, Reavers is going. So put him on the side of Happ and let him play a little 2-man game, and you got a shot.
He is a tough kid. He needs to get bigger, needs to get stronger. But the youngest of 3 brothers, he grew up getting beat up by his older brothers. And they love his attitude. Edwards takes it right at him.
Carson Edwards started the game on fire. He continues the game on fire. You're going to see right here on a little kick out, that's P.J. Thompson, who drills the 3. Don't let it in the middle. And then here he is. Carson Edwards with the left hand. He's been dynamite. You see the enthusiasm. How many teams does Seth, Jay, Carl, everybody have in the Final Four? It's like 87 teams in the Final Four. Jay Will last week was sweating it out, I heard on set, when he picked Purdue as the best team and they were getting beat by Michigan. I heard he was sweating it out there in Bristol.
Well, they came up with what we thought. We were there last week in Ann Arbor. Really impressive win. It looks even more impressive with what Michigan did in East Lansing to the Spartans.
No doubt. Michigan's playing well last night. 2 unbelievable finishes in the Big Ten.
Wisconsin just nothing going right. They need another bucket to avoid their lowest scoring first half of the year. And they're just having a hard time stopping that guy.
So many curl cuts. It's so hard to guard because everybody can play. Everybody can curl. All 5 guys out there can screen, cut, pass, and curl. Now, on defense, Purdue's doing a really good job of trying to keep the ball on one side. Lost Ilikainen.
And he laid it in. Good pass, good finish.
Everything's got to go through Happ. P.J. Thompson's doing a good job of pressuring the ball, keeping it on the left side, but when Happ releases, he's able to make good decisions. Try to watch off the ball all the cutting. Watch number 3.
I'm watching.
That was a bad possession.
Wasn't the best one to use as your demonstration.
No, but the reason was only one guy cut. That's what Matt wanted for the timeout. Do something, pass, keep the ball popping and curl and cut and move.
Let's welcome in Molly McGrath.
Hello,
well, Dave, Dave, in that last time out, Matt Painter's still warning his team, saying when they get a lead, they're going to pick up their pressure. Don't forget about your guy, but you need to see the whole picture, or else that's going to lead to some costly turnovers. And that was his main message. He also finished with Reavers, has been hitting a couple from the outside. You need to force him inside, get him away from the perimeter.
Carson Edwards came up short. Thank you, Molly. Reavers at the moment sitting down. He's been the best player for Wisconsin in the first half.
Yeah, he's made a couple shots.
Bad pass. And great defense. Carson Edwards missed the dunk. Vincent hustled, though, and got the rebound and drew a foul. That is the only thing that's gone wrong for number 3.
Yeah, he exploded. Great anticipation right there. This kid plays like a fullback, and it's not quite enough.
Why not emphasize the missed dunk for young Carson? Just a sophomore from Atascocita, Texas, and he plays basketball like a football player, and he grew up as an excellent football player. Gave it up.
Was he a quarterback? I think he was. Should be a running back.
And Wisconsin also likes to, he does look like a running back. Wisconsin likes to recruit the high school quarterbacks. Demetric Trice is one. Brad Davison is one. Really good high school football players on both of these teams. Carson Edwards, we were showing him. Vincent is at the free throw line. Carson was AAU teammate with De'Aaron Fox. He's playing well in the NBA.
Matt Painter had to be talked into recruiting Carson Edwards by Coach Owens. Jack Owens, who's now the head coach at Miami of Ohio, his first year there. Carson was, let's put it this way, a little difficult to coach in high school. And they had some questions whether they wanted to take him. Well, Jack Owens convinced Matt Painter, and good for Jack Owens, and good for Matt Painter, and great for Carson Edwards, because it's worked out well, certainly for Painter and Edwards.
Well, as of this moment, it's Wisconsin 18 and the two Edwards 24. So the two Edwards themselves are outscoring the Badgers. Iverson draws a foul. Wisconsin has started to play a little better here. Just not sure it's going to be enough tonight. Saturday primetime presented by AT&T. Number 18 Kentucky, De'Aaron Fox's alma mater, against the Gators. That one at 8:15, and then out on the West Coast, Eugene, Oregon, and UCLA. Both games on ESPN on Saturday.
I talked to Steve Alford the other day. You know, he's done a pretty good job. I mean, he loses guys, first-round picks, Lonzo Ball being the one people are focusing on. But, look, he lost Leaf. And you know what? Then the incident in China. And he's done a really good job losing about half his team. He's funny to talk to privately about the balls.
Steve will get in his car and drive here and personally take your headset off.
Oh man, Steve was good here. Tell you what, he was good at Indiana. And like I say, you know, it's tough at UCLA now because everybody remembers John Wooden, former Purdue All-American, but times have changed, and I think Steve's done terrific.
Edwards cut off. Good defense by Illikainen, and he came up short.
Purdue, and again, this is why even when they were going hard, fast, and furious, that's why Matt Painter kept talking about moving the ball and moving people. Because I'm telling you, in motion, you can get stagnant, and you can fall in love with a jump shot or in love with yourself.
Iverson tried to dunk it home. Tough to do against a big guy.
Not easy.
Purdue's up 37-20. Matthias hasn't scored. Haas hasn't scored. 0 from both those guys. See if they can get Haas a bucket here. I think they're trying. He was pushed. Basket's not going to count.
It's the first time Haas has looked determined. It's the first time he's had real grit. You know, everything else he's kind of just floated through so far. That time, and it's no surprise he made the bucket even though he was fouled when you play with a little grit.
Missed the free throw. He still hasn't scored. He made one big free throw last week in Ann Arbor.
Stepped up for the game winner.
About 4 seconds left. Tie game. Right over Haas. Good.
Yeah, really good. Here's the rule that Purdue is using. Talked to Coach Greg Gary. If Haas can see you, don't double. And Vince Edwards, is going to be the double guy. Well, that time Haas kept looking at Edwards, and Edwards was a little bit in a trick bag, and Haas made a nice play. Or excuse me, Hap made a nice play.
About a 5-second difference. Game clock, shot clock. Matthias from the free throw line. That's his first bucket.
Sprint, cut it right to left. Fast.
Hap not going to give it up. He loses it out of bounds, and time enough for Purdue to get a look.
Man, Haas just kept his feet moving. Said this on Saturday. NBA scouts, when they work out Haas individually, I can't wait to hear them say, man, I didn't know he moved his feet like that. I didn't know he had such good feet. He has really good feet, and you saw it right there against Happ.
Size 22s can move. They're trying to hit him, and the pass got intercepted. Not a bad effort. Happ's heave comes up short, and the horn sounds. What a first half for Purdue and Vincent Edwards.
Right from the get-go, Purdue came right out and played like this crowd has been. Played with energy, played with toughness.
I'm sure their coach is happy. Let's hear from him with Molly.
Thank you, Dave. Coach, you guys have forced 15 turnovers. What's your defense doing well?
Well, we're just trying to be in the gaps there and try to help with Happ the best of our ability. Obviously, they got some guys that can shoot the basketball, so we're not trying to leave them. We're just trying to mix it up and give them different looks.
Isaac Haas and Dakota Mathias have combined for just 2 points in this first half. What do you need to see from them in the second half?
Well, at times, Dakota's going to pass the basketball for us. I thought Carson was great, and he was scoring the ball and being aggressive. Isaac's just got to be solid. He's had some opportunities there. He's just got to be fundamentally sound and score the ball.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks, Molly. Purdue 39, Wisconsin 22. Carl, Seth, and Jay in studio after this break.
4-22, and Dave, I appreciate you saying wrong, but if you say it's cold outside but it's warm in here, you and I are going to throw hands.
But I didn't.
I know.
It is freezing outside, and it's rocking here inside Mackey. Some people, some Kansas fans are a little mad at me before the game. I said this might be the loudest venue in college hoop. It might. I love Fog Allen, but this place tonight, the way these folks love this Boilermaker team.
You have seniors. You have seniors that have connected with the students. That's why you see so many students here.
It is loud again. Let's go over to Molly McGrath. Molly?
Well, Dave, I can hear Wisconsin's Greg Gard yelling from outside the locker room, trying to fire up his team. He said those 15 turnovers, obviously unacceptable, but he said we're too thin at the guard position. We have one point guard, that's Brad Davidson. That's not his original position. He only has one arm, and he said to handle Purdue, you have to handle the ball well. He's telling his players to slow down, calm down, and just chip away at this once you get those turnovers taken care of.
Davison has 7 turnovers, but Happ has 5. Happ has not played like Ethan Happ. He just got to go do this. Go up, score, miss it, that's tough. Just go make a play every possession. If you have 10 turnovers, it doesn't matter. He's the guy that has to make a play.
It might matter a little if he has 10 of them.
It doesn't help you, but really, look, Davison is playing with one arm. They've stripped the ball from him because he's clearly uncomfortable. But you can't have Happ having 5. He's got to make good decisions.
That's a second touch already here in the first few seconds of the half for Happ, and a good move.
Yeah, he really got low and took Haas to his right shoulder and then drop step to his left, and Haas could not move his feet quick enough.
It's not your normal Wisconsin team. Badgers are really struggling. Ethan Happ is one of the best players in the country.
He is, which is why you have to play through him and you have to trust his decision making. 5 turnovers in one half is not going to happen often, if ever.
You can't leave him open. Wisconsin cannot leave him open.
Yeah, he set a screen that time, though. He set a screen, great cut, and then he stepped back, missed the switch, give up 3.
13 for Vincent Edwards. Working his way in close, finds Iverson. Good little shot fake for the bucket.
Yeah, really good by Happ. He saw the double coming. Iverson sprinted to the front of the rim, which is where you must go when your man is the doubler.
Quiet first half for Mathias. Quiet for Haas. Purdue still up big. 2 of their top scorers.
Just throwing the ball.
Whistle. Down low. Man, I think that elbow might have drawn some blood here. Ooh. He's taken a few shots. This was on the offensive end. Haas took another shot on the defensive end.
He can take a punch because that was a pretty good shot. There are guys sitting on Purdue's bench that are probably saying, good that he got hit one time because of all the shots he doles out. I don't think there's anything to see there.
Edwards, another one.
He set a screen, and then P.J. Thompson screened for him.
Students are going to run out of cards. He's hitting a lot of threes. We got the little fan section 3 counter. Pretzel cut off. That's a contested 3 and good for Alex Ilikainen.
2 guys I think have hurt Wisconsin. That kid's one of them. Ilikainen has played over the years, and for whatever the reason hasn't developed. The other is Charles Thomas. Charles Thomas is a guy that has played over the years. This is his time to shine, and he's been nowhere. Usually guys step up. I think of Kaminsky from his sophomore to junior year. How about that? Paint Crew's putting another one up there.
They're having to work overtime. The answer, no.
Hey, they gave me a cookie. They gave us Oreos at halftime.
Tasted
Shout
good.
out to them.
Yeah. Edwards this time attacks the basket.
That was almost some give up by Wisconsin right there. That was a lot of give up. Hap didn't come over, take a charge. Nobody really contested Edwards.
Hap with the left hand.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's good on this end, not so good on defense in this game.
Is there anybody in the country who's got more post moves? I'm not saying, it's a different question than skill and athleticism, but just variety of moves. Haas was fouled. You can answer the question later.
No, there's not. Look at right here.
Or answer it now.
You're going to see Edwards set a screen. Look, Hap just helps a little bit. Ball quickly back to Edwards. That's the beauty of the motion offense. And then he had just set a screen for Haas and received a screen from P.J. Thompson. Look, there are so many ways that this motion offense beats you. How about this? Now you want something else? Catch it, show it, go. Lay it in with the left. Vincent Edwards is a good all-around player. I'll say the best all-around player in the league. The most outstanding player in the league, Keita Bates-Diop of Ohio State. Edwards all around doing everything.
So if you're the best all-around, that doesn't make you the best overall?
No. Most valuable player.
I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around that one.
Most valuable player is Keita Bates-Diop.
And I think he's been the best player.
I would say, yeah, you're right. I mean, you're right. No. I got to think about this because I think there's, I'm going to shut up.
Carson Edwards, while Dan talks to himself, Haas gets dragged to the floor. Keep that conversation going.
I'm trying to think of how I can explain it, and I'm not doing a good job.
Keep digging.
I am.
Okay, America's still a little confused. Vincent Edwards, he is the best all-around player you're saying in the Big Ten. He is a great player. But Keita Bates-Diop, who is doing everything for Ohio State, is the best player, period.
My argument was amongst myself, saying, why don't I think Keita Bates-Diop is the best all-around player? When the other night, Bates-Diop had 20 points, 9 rebounds, 5 blocks. My thing was I thought that Edwards played better defense on more guys, thus making him better all around. But as I started arguing with myself, I realized, wait a second here. Hold it. Bates-Diop is doing, he had 27 and 13 at Iowa. He blocks shots. He has a 7'3" wingspan. So I think Bates-Diop has taken it as a challenge over the last week.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but I was arguing with myself, like, why wouldn't I have Bates-Diop as the best all-around?
Aleem Ford, a freshman, knocks down a 3 for Wisconsin. Badgers trying to hang around,
That's the next great player at Wisconsin. If he'll go to work. Now, I have no idea whether he will time after time after, but he is long, he's athletic, he can shoot it. He talks, he plays with his head up. A couple of years, he's going to be great.
This guy's great. Matthias is not having a great night, though.
He's not. He's not making shots. He's shooting everything short. But it doesn't bother him. He'll still guard, he'll still cut, he'll still pass.
Hap back in the game after a short rest, double team. Interesting that Reavers has been on the bench for most of this half for Wisconsin. Hap, quick move with the left hand right by Haas.
Twice. Once to his right hand, once to his left hand. He's really gotten low and taken Haas one way and quick spinned him on the other. Kids out there, you want to play against bigger, that's how you do it in the post.
There's a long way to go in this game. I know it seems like a daunting task. Haas trying to muscle his way down low. Missed another one. Haas just has not found the range from close in. That was good hustle by Purdue, and it'll stay Purdue basketball. Time for our Flipping the Switch, brought to you by Boost Mobile. Number 3 ranking. Best start tied in Purdue history. Highest ranking since 2009, 2010, almost a decade. You got to go back 30 years to find a higher ranked Purdue team. Boilermakers have won 13 in a row. Only Auburn's got a longer current win streak.
Yeah, those teams with Todd Mitchell and Everett Stevens and Troy Lewis, I mean, they were absolutely tremendous. And then you had Hummel and Etwan Moore and Juwan Johnson.
Vincent Edwards lost that one out of bounds. That's a Purdue turnover.
Purdue has had a remarkably good run for a long time, 50 years in this building. There are very few years, and there have been very few years that Purdue hasn't been a really good basketball program. Rick Mount took them to the Final Four. Herm Gilliam was on that team. Those of you remember the Portland Trailblazers back in the day. Joe Barry Carroll took him to the Final Four, first pick in the draft.
Iverson crashed the board, but lost it out of bounds. Purdue basketball history has some of the great names in the history of the sport, and really kind of starting with John Wooden as a player, National Player of the Year. Went on to become more famous as the all-time greatest coach. Never been the AP ranked #1 team in the country.
I'm a little surprised by that. I thought the group with Lewis and those guys were at one point. I didn't think the big dog teams were.
Illegal screen. That'll count as a Purdue turnover. Well, offense is bogged down a little bit here.
Be a good place right here to get Reavers at the top of the key, happen to post, find him off the double.
You hit a 3, you make him think. That's Reavers with the ball.
All right, here comes a double. Let's see if they swing it.
Happ went by the freshman Harms, but he hooked him.
Boy, Reavers was wide open at the top of the key. If Happ could have, instead of hook, flipped it out to him, you'd have had a nice shot and a chance to get back in this game. That's clear, easy call. Nothing, you can't argue that. Even the staunchest of Badger fans, the Andy North of Badger fans wouldn't argue that call.
From Santiago, Chile. He may well be arguing that call. Greg Gard was arguing it.
You ever been to Santiago?
Never.
Awesome.
Food, what?
Everything. Cosmopolitan. It's like New York City.
The things you learn on Super Tuesday.
I took my team there. I took a bunch of my players there. Boy, is he good.
Man.
That time he did not. He did not hook, and what he did was he saw the double coming from his left. Harms did not get to his right shoulder quick enough, and Happ with that spin is so quick.
He has taken on the challenge. Molly told us the locker room was loud with the head coach barking at his team. Carson Edwards.
I swear every time he shoots it, we think it's him. Next time he shoots, watch him, because as soon as he shoots it and he knows it's in, he starts backpedaling. Reavers top of the key here on the double.
There he is for 3. A little too strong this time. Purdue hadn't as many chances to run in this second half. Harms dunks it home. He's tall. They call a block. They love that call here.
Oh, man, that gets you thrown out if you weren't up 21. Little balls. Well, I disagree. I think Chris Bryant leads all those categories. Third baseman for the Cubs.
There's your silver slugger. You think Trey, I mean, I know Trey Young statistically, I don't think he's a slam dunk player of the year.
I think he is a slam dunk player of the year. I think he is, whatever you want to make it, whatever the Heisman, what is it, the Wooden Award?
So it's over on January 16th.
As of right now, over. You know what's great about Trey Young? He gets everybody else. He's not a pig. Like, he doesn't overhandle it to where guys aren't ready for the ball. That's where he's most like Steph Curry. It's you know, sometimes a guy's a pig. He shoots it all the time. He doesn't pass it. Not Trey Young. And guys are ready for it because they know he's willing.
Harms, can he dunk another one? He's pretty good, this kid.
Wisconsin having a little issue with the screen and roll with Harms.
Might need to work on that.
You might just switch it. You know, I mean, really, you just have to switch it because Harms isn't going to destroy you on the block. So you just switch it, get a bad match for a few seconds, and go from there.
You love the fight from Ethan Happ. He's trying hard. But he's having to do it all by himself. Harms, fouled. He wanted a third. He wanted it.
The crowd wanted it as well. Look, the high ball screen with Harms. Little handoff action. He's going to get in the way. You see Harms right here. He's going to just get in the way a little bit of four. Just in the way, not really. And then he slips, and you see everybody on the weak side because of how good the Purdue shooters are. You just get a little man-oriented. And when you get man-oriented, it opens up the lane. There's a rule. If the ball is above the foul line and you're 2 passes away, all right, you're in help side, you're on the ball side of the basket. I'm sorry, the man side of the basket. If the ball's below the foul line and you're 2 passes away on help side, you're on the ball side of the basket, which means the ball closer to the rim means help is closer to the ball. Well, when you have shooters, guys tend to stay with the shooters and forget about help, and it opens up the lane. That's why you've seen a couple dunks by Harms here.
We'll give you a quiz on that under the 8-minute timeout.
Well, it's very simple, truthfully. I mean, ball below the foul line, get closer to the ball and help. Ball above the foul line, you're 2 passes away, stay a little closer to your man. But boy, when your ball gets below the foul line and you're hugging your man, you are in trouble.
Harms, you might have noticed the stitches. He got 7 stitches from a practice collision the other day when he was at the foul line. Klein, shot clock winding down. Harms couldn't handle the pass. Heaves one up off the side of the backboard, never hit the rim. Grew up in the Netherlands, Matt Harms. And Purdue, I mean, they had good teams. You were talking about some of the great players they had when he was a kid in this program. Purdue was on TV a lot. He watched ESPN from the Netherlands, and that was how he decided he wanted to come here.
Well, when you watch Purdue, you're seeing a great crowd, great student support. I mean, let's be honest, the students here have been as good as any in the country. You see a team that plays hard. You see a team that always or generally likes each other.
Pretzel, Harms recovered but fouled him.
Hey, let me show you a little bit what I'm talking about here with the help side. We're going to show you, okay, the ball is here, so it's in the middle. There's really no help. You see guys are looking at the ball. Now as it goes to the left, you'll see the ball coming this way. All right, watch, the guys are hugging their man. Everybody's got to come over, and nobody does. Watch. Here's a little ball screen. Stop it right there, Bart. All right, now, everybody's hugging. Nobody's in the lane. You got to stay in the lane. Next thing you know, you're giving up a dunk.
A teaching point.
Yeah, I mean, it's a simple one. When you see an open lane, that means everybody on help side is 2-man oriented. Good defensive teams can clog the lane and get back to their man because while their body is in the lane, their mind is getting them back to their man. Wisconsin's been very, very bad at this, very un-Wisconsin-like.
Edwards, what a spin move. And the finish.
That's abuse. That's Schlunt abuse. He just abused poor walk-on Schlunt right there.
Sorry, TJ. He's got the ball. Happ tried to return the favor.
There's your help. You see Harms come all the way over from help. You didn't see that on the other end.
Schlunt forced one up. Happ fighting for the offensive board. Got it blocked. Blocked it again. Reminder, he's like the 8th best player on this team.
Second tallest.
They got a new fan favorite, Vincent Edwards. No.
That could have gone inside right there.
I think so.
Harms would have done something. You got to feed him in that game. He's excited.
That's an understatement.
I know, right? Feed the excited guy. Good things usually happen.
A very emotional player, and I mean that in a good way.
Great way.
Davison lines up a 3, no good. Eastern, who has a chance to be the point guard of this program, despite his size, but he's got to eliminate that. That's a turnover.
This is pretty good basketball by the Purdue Boilermakers. You're going to see first the All-American Vince Edwards with a nice spin. Whack! That's just abuse of TJ Schlunt. And then on the other, look at Harms, one block, digging it out. Another block. And you see the excitement. Nothing great is ever done without enthusiasm.
Have some talent.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, that kid there did nothing last year. Went to the NBA draft, right, to the combines and all that, and showed out. I mean, there is a ton of talent. Look, Kentucky's the kind of team that is still a rush to court team when you beat them, and it's still a team that is going to be an incredibly difficult out in the tournament, and probably will win both the conference and the conference tournament.
Brad Davison hits the pull-up jumper. I feel for this kid. He's going to be a good player for Wisconsin. Badgers fans, you got a good one. He is playing so banged up right now.
You know why he was comfortable doing that? You know, the sleeve is on his left shoulder. He was able to catch it, dribble right, and not even involve his left arm. Since
the start of the year, that left shoulder has dislocated 5 different times. 5 different times, and he doesn't miss practices, let alone games.
No.
So he's trying to tough it out. The rest of this team is banged up. It's a kid who's playing 50% maybe in his freshman year, trying to get acclimated to the Big Ten. I give him a lot of credit.
I give him a ton. He's not, you know, the thing about him is he's not trying to tough it out. He is just tough. Like, he's football player tough. And dying to be out there, not just because his team needs him, just because he loves ball and loves to compete.
Great high school football and basketball player. Haas misses the dunk.
That's the way it's going for Big Haas tonight.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Amazing. And Purdue's up 22 anyway. Here's Davison, the guy we're talking about. I mean, his arm goes numb for minutes at a time if he takes a hit the wrong way during a game. He can hardly even dribble with his left hand. He's playing 35 minutes a game.
Well, that's what I was going to say, Dave. You got to make him go left. I mean, it sounds harsh.
Have to.
Yeah, that's just part of it. You saw how comfortable he was going right, but what a tough kid. And I'll give Illikainen credit in this game as well. Hasn't played a whole lot this year. But if you watch the blows he's taking from Haas, it's pretty impressive that he's just hanging in.
Edwards, catch and shoot 3.
Sprinting left to right. He is so good on those wings at turning his body and his shoulders into the shot, not fading away on the dead run.
And now he steals one. Just lay it in. Timeout, Badgers. Jay Williams says they're the best team in the country. They are playing like it tonight. congratulations to the cheer squad, officially the Universal Cheerleaders Association National Champions, your Purdue Boilermakers.
There are two groups on campus that work so hard and played through so many injuries. One's the cheerleaders and one's the gymnasts. Like, gymnasts are ridiculous, the injuries they play through. And cheerleaders, same thing. You fell on your head, nah, it's all right, you can keep cheering. They are tough, tough folks. Congratulations to the Purdue cheer squad.
Pretzel three, no good. And the ball knocked out of bounds. Happ tried to save it in, couldn't do it. Well, SportsCenter tonight at 11 Eastern. A lot of stuff to talk about, including punches thrown in the NBA in Orlando. Feisty couple days in the NBA. We're breaking down apparently the weaknesses in Trae Young's game. Do you have any thoughts on what those are?
Oh, I mean, you could always say defensively. I mean, that's fine. But offensively, he's the best offensive guard I've seen in college basketball in my 1,000 years of being around college basketball.
Plus Anthony Davis against the Celtics. Lots more. SportsCenter on ESPN, 11 Eastern. After that Kentucky game that follows us. Best guard you've seen?
Best guard I've seen offensively in college basketball. And I've been involved in it since 81 in the fall. I've never seen a better offensive guard than him.
Better than Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas only played 2 years, averaged about 14. Isaiah Thomas, the best little guard I've ever seen in my life, and no one's tougher than Isaiah Thomas. But in college, he's the best offensive guard I've ever seen. I mean, of course, I did 2 games. One he had 43, and the other had 25 and 10 at half. You know what I mean?
That is true. A whistle and a foul against the Boilermakers. Up big with 4:25 to go. Khalil Iverson, the junior from Delaware, Ohio.
You know where Delaware, Ohio is?
He loves candy, specializes in sour gummy worms. Where's Delaware, Ohio?
Just north of Columbus.
Just a tiny bit north.
Just a little bit. A couple of good players. Nick Ward, just from outside of Columbus.
Not from Delaware, though.
No. And Iverson from right there as well. And why would you eat, if you're going to eat candy, why would you eat anything sour?
Sour gummy worms.
Like, isn't candy supposed to be sweet? Why would you eat sour?
Waste those calories on something sour.
Right.
Gonna do that? Give me a bag of chips.
Oh.
Yeah, we are Dave Fleming and Dan Dockich. It's come to this. Putting our name on this Super Tuesday. Molly McGrath is with us as well, hiding.
Molly McGrath is a star. Like, you can't turn your TV on and not see Molly McGrath, either doing a game or NFL Live or college football live. Just superstar in this industry.
Dan, I'll be giving you $20 after for the nice little promo.
That sounds like a bargain to
Slipping
me.
you at 20. Thanks, buddy.
No, she is. I mean, look.
Let me see how much I got.
Well, you're a superstar. You're on the, you do the Giants, you do football, you do basketball. I just try to get through without, somebody hating me on Twitter.
that hasn't happened in a long while.
I like Happ. Don't you like Happ?
I do. And I love the fight he is showing. It's sort of, in a way, it should go without saying, but Happ has not folded up the tent and gone home. He is trying to play this one out. Iverson would have gotten him an extra box of sour gummy worms.
Iverson continues a streak that really is unparalleled in college basketball. He is currently now 0 for 14 from the three-point line. You'd think a guy would stop after about 0 for 8.
Thing is, they need some offense from him. Maybe not three-point shots from him, but they do need some offense from him.
I don't think you need to double him.
P.J. Thompson.
Happ came over to double. Charles Thomas was in pretty good shape. You just can't do that against the shooters of Purdue. You can't.
You heard the big roar. You might be wondering why. Because number 15, Tommy Luce, coming in when we come back.
Stay tuned. don't even have my shirt tucked in. It's so big now. I gotta keep things out.
And this game's going to end, and we'll get to them on time, so you get to see their well-planned-out open. Sometimes in television, you make all these plans, you come up with a plan, you shoot some shots, you practice, rehearse, and then the game before you goes long, and you can't do it.
Yeah. I always said, you know, if you ever saw the movie Blue Chips, my best work was on the cutting room floor. I mean,
you were supposed to be a big star in that movie.
Gosh. Tommy Luce, number 15. That's who the crowd wants to see knock it in.
Everybody's favorite walk-on. When he touches it, they go nuts. Grady Eifert, who's a walk-on.
Well, I think he's really helped Purdue this year. His dad, Greg, a terrific player. Brother Tyler was out this year other than 2 games for the Cincinnati Bengals. But
Pritzel with the putback. Didn't SVP have Tommy Luce a couple weeks ago as like the best thing he saw that day? Made a couple buckets, made a reverse, crowd went nuts. I think so. SVP, I'm told, is going to talk to Matt Painter tonight, the head coach of the Boilermakers. That's assuming Purdue wins this game. Ryan Klein, contested 3. Why not?
Wow. It's huge for Purdue that he's getting confident. He has been considered a 6th starter. Cold last few games. Hit one late against Minnesota, and a lot of times it carries over, and I think it has.
Who was it today? I saw somebody on Twitter today call him a semi-X Factor. Semi-X Factor.
You're not quite an X Factor, but you could be an X Factor. You will never hear. They scouted Tommy.
Tommy, reverse.
Oh.
No.
Tommy's not afraid.
He steals it away.
You got to go to the ring, Tommy.
He got blocked. Pritzel for 3. Iverson blocked. Harms has had a bunch of them. Pure from Brad Davison.
Yeah, really good for Davison. You can just tell when he doesn't have to do anything with his left hand, pretty good.
Final minute here from Mackey Arena. One of the best teams in the country, aren't they?
There's no question, and one of the great environments in college basketball. This has been awesome by the students, the alumni of Purdue. Awesome.
They love this team. Why wouldn't you? Man.
Everybody plays hard. I love this place. Couple of things I love. You see under the bucket it says defense lives here, 19 play hard points. That involves charges and different things. And then under the clock, you see it right there. That is so awesome. Only place in the country. And then under the clock at the exit, there is a time to play hard. I love this. It involves the students. They put up threes. This is one of the great environments in all of college basketball. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. How big-time recruits don't want to come here, I don't understand.
Tough night for the Badgers. Great night for the Boilermakers. 78-50, the 14th straight win for Matt Painter's Purdue team. For Molly McGrath, Dan Dockich, Bart Fox, our producer, Scott Johnson, our director, Dave Fleming saying so long. Kentucky, South Carolina coming up. Now back to studio.